Hello guys, welcome back. Now in this session we are going to discuss about Terraform Provisioners overview. So let's look into the agenda. What are the topics we are going to cover in this session? So guys, in this session basically we are going to discuss about all the conceptual aspect of Terraform Provisioners, and after this session we will do the lab for each of the topics which we will discuss about provisioners. So let's look into the topics. What are the topics we are going to understand in this session? So we will start our discussion with what actually the Terraform provisioners are. Once we understand that, then we will look into why to use Terraform provisioners. Once we understand that, then we will look into types of provisioners. After understanding types of provisioners, we will look into creation time provisioner versus deletion time provisioners. And at last, we will discuss about failure behavior of provisioner. Whenever any provisioners fail, what will happen, how we can define that behavior. So guys, let's jump into a diagram where we will discuss all these things. So guys, so far whatever discussion we have done, that is about creation and infrastructure within providers. In this aspect, we have looked into AWS provider where we have created many resources in each of the labs which we have performed. But those learnings was only related to the creation of the infrastructure. But within the real-time project, the task is not only limited to the creation of infrastructure, it also requires to configure those servers which exist within our infrastructure, and those server we will use for application configuration. So let's understand this with a diagram. So over here we have created this infrastructure where we are having the VPC and we are having all the elements of the VPC, and we have also created these four EC2 instances. Now I want to configure the instances which we have created. One instance it will behave as web server, another instance will behave as dev server. So to make it as a web server or dev server, we need to configure these server, and so for that we need to deploy some of the required softwares within these instance. So now the question comes over here is how we can perform these installation within the instance using Terraform. Then my answer would be it is provisioners. Terraform provisioners is the answer. So guys, Terraform provisioner helps us to perform these activities where we want to do some kind of a installation or say some kind of a configuration within the resources which we have created. So with the help of Terraform provisioners, we can perform any of the task which we want to perform within the resources. So now let's proceed further. So guys, now we understand what is Terraform provisioners are and why to use Terraform provisioners. So now let's proceed one step further and we will discuss about types of provisioners. So basically we are having two types of provisioners. One is called remote exec, another one is the local exec. Remote exec you can consider it remotely executable. Local exec you can consider it local executable. So now you must be asking that what is the difference between remote exec and the local exec. So to understand it, let's jump into a diagram to find the difference. So guys, this diagram is the representation of AWS provider, and where we are having this command prompt and we are having Terraform installed, and this Terraform is creating the resources within the AWS. And now suppose we have created a resource called Amazon EC2 instance, and within that now I want to deploy a web server. For example, Nginx I want to install over here so that it will behave as a web server. We can achieve this by two ways. The first one is the remote exec and the second one is the local exec. So when we are using remote exec, the command will be executed within this EC2 instance. For us, that is our remote system, and where we want to perform the task. For example, we want to perform the task of web server installation, that is Nginx, within this EC2 instance, and the command which will be executed within this EC2 instance, and it is residing over here, not within the system, within our system. That's the reason it is called remote exec. So this is the first way. The second way is the local exec. Local exec, as name suggests, it should be executed within our local machine. For example, if we want to perform the same task, that is installation of web server within the EC2 instance, and that you want to perform from your local machine, then in that scenario we can use local exec. And to perform such activity from our local machine, we generally use Ansible for the configuration management within the production environment. So now let's proceed further. So guys, now we have understand that types of provisioners, what is remote exec and what is local exec. So guys, now let's discuss about creation time provisioners versus deletion time provisioners. It is pretty much a straightforward topic. So now let's discuss about this. So guys, by default, the nature of the Terraform provisioners, that is remote exec and local exec, is to perform the activities while doing the creation task. And the task which we will perform while doing the creation, that is called creation time provisioners. In contrast to the creation time provisioner, we are having another provisioner, that is deletion time provisioners, which is mainly related to the task which we perform while doing the deletion activities with the help of provisioners. So guys, this is about creation versus deletion time provisioners. So guys, over here I want to give you one point to remember, that is by default provisioners are create time provisioners. We don't need to specifically specify that when this task should be performed. So if you want to perform any activities while deletion, we have to mark it as a deletion time provisioner with the help of when command with a value called destroy. We have to specify when argument with the value destroy within the provisioner to make it as deletion time provisioners, that we will look into when we do the lab. So guys, now let's proceed further and discuss about failure behavior. So guys, failure behavior is basically related to the failure condition. Suppose if you are executing any of the provisioners, whether remote exec or local exec, and something mishap happened, and because of that we have to also choose or say specify the failure behavior of the provisioners. And whenever any failure happen, so it marks the resource as tented, so that whenever it will execute next time, it will destroy and create it again. In our lab, we will see that how to set the failure behavior for our provisioners. So guys, this is what I wanted to discuss in this session. Now next session onwards, we are going to perform the labs for each of the topics which we have discussed over here to understand it better. So on this note, I am stopping over here. See you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.